Thing set here. Yeah, looking good. Stefano, my buddy. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, three, two, one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back today. We got our old friend Stefano Ronaldo. He's a vegan activist. He's an animal lover. He's also somebody who knows a lot about nutrition. What I think we should talk about today is how do you stay healthy and stay fit and get big muscles like you when you're on a vegan diet. How you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me again. And yes, today we want to be a bit more specific. Last time we talked about my story. Today I just want to add value and help people approach plant-based diet the right way, keeping it simple and thrive on it, uh, be full of energies. And also, if your goal is losing fat, today we're also going to make sure that you understand what you have to do in order to reduce fat so you can look leaner.
So where would you start? Obviously, we need food as fuel to eat and to live. What are some of the best things that we can put in our body?
So here's the thing, and we can kind of debunk one myth straight away that it is a vegan diet is expensive, right?
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, I hear this. I hear this a lot.
right, and I think there is two misconceptions. First of all, someone can actually have an omnivore diet that's expensive, right? You can buy the cheapest ham, or you can buy the most expensive one. You can buy the cheapest egg or the most expensive egg. But with vegan diet specifically, it's a bit different because it usually doesn't come down to buy the cheapest lentil or the most expensive one. I don't even know if expensive lentils
Yeah,
exist.
luxury lentils.
But usually think of vegan products. That's what makes vegan diet expensive. And so we can give two answers to this. Answer number one is that you don't need you don't need it. If you don't have money, you need to keep your diet cheaper, you need to save money, then don't buy these products. Because you need to change your perception when it comes to diet. You don't only want to think, all right, I'm taking away meat, I need to put meat substitute. I'm taking away cheese, I need to put a cheese substitute. You don't want to think of it like that. You want to learn how to implement real food. And here's the thing, like the best vegan diet and the healthiest diet is made of fruit, vegetables, seeds, nuts, legumes, which are the cheapest in the supermarket. So here's
Yeah.
the first thing that we can make some clarity on. Would you add something to this?
I would say, I read this week that on average, and this is in Americans, they eat about 7.5 pounds of beans a year, while people in Rwanda and Burundi eat 200 pounds of beans a year. And beans are
Mhm.
so much easier to grow than meat, because you have to grow the plants and then feed the plants to the animals and et cetera. When in the case of beans, you grow the plant once and then you eat the plant and you got your food. Um, all around, I think legumes and beans and stuff, magical. That's a magical food.
Absolutely. And the other thing is, and let me know if in your family you encountered the same. The other thing is like people say, oh, but when people were poor, they couldn't be vegan. But when I talk with my grandmother, she was during the war period. She was eating rice and potatoes. She was definitely not eating meat. You're right. So meat was it's impossible to find. It was much easier to get grains. Get bread. You get rice and pasta, legume and potatoes. Right. So this is actually what and still happens in poor countries. They eat mainly vegan. That's the truth. Of course, they will have their farming animals as well, but usually is a luxury and is not as
Yeah.
much. as much as we do in more civilized or developed countries, right?
Yeah.
Do you have the
I
same experience in your family, like your grandma was telling you something like that?
Oh, absolutely. See, the generation that came in World War II, they were all countries, whether you were in Italy or Spain or Germany or America, there were hard times, and there were, you know, there was a certain amount of famines and stuff. People learned to subsist on smaller amounts. And I'm Irish, so I have this Irish blood going back generations and generations. And in the 1800s, the Irish population got up to 8 million just on potatoes. That's all they ate. They ate potatoes, nothing else. So history tells you that being vegan is possible just uh, because of how actually, yeah, affordable it is. It's the cheapest diet you can possibly find.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think the other difficulty that people encounter when going vegan is thinking that they need recipes, right? Where are the vegan recipes? And sure, of course, it's great to have tasty and delicious recipes, but at the end of the day, food is fuel, right? And if you're going vegan because you have this belief that it's not good what you see in the slaughterhouse footage, and you think animals are individuals and are experiencing a horrible situation and fear and suffering, then recipes go to into a second floor, like less important. Uh, you can keep a diet simple, right? So whatever you are cooking right now, let's say you're cooking rice, vegetables, and chicken. You can take away the chicken and eat more rice and vegetables. There you have your vegan recipe, right? You don't have to look for complex uh, recipes that make the food taste better. Because at the end of the day, I think, from my experience, I think a simple vegan diet compared to a simple and basic diet made of animal products, it's easier to make taste better. I mean, an apple,
Yeah.
you don't have to cook an apple to make it taste good, right? Just taste good. Same thing with kind of the vegetables, like mushrooms. Mushrooms taste good all the time. Just add some salt on them, right? Rather than a dry chicken. So keep it simple.
Yeah.
You don't keep it simple, and then after, once you decide that you want to go vegan because your value aligned to it, then you can explore recipes. I'm not the recipe guy today. We're not talking about recipes. Maybe a little bit, maybe some tips on how I prepare my food, but I am not the recipe guy. And as well, also, if we're going to talk about look leaner and lose some fat, if your end goal is going to actually also look better, build muscle, diet gotta be simple, right? So I don't know many strong guys that want to look lean that are doing fancy recipes every day. We eat simple most of the time uh, because food is fuel, and then it can be pleasure, of course, sometimes. And we are going to talk about how to implement pleasure into a more strict diet, let's say,
Yeah.
to prioritize your look.
But not necessarily pleasure in the sense that it's addictive, but pleasure in the sense like have a little bit of fun while you're eating your fuel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah. Say that
Yeah.
again.
Well, like because you have to be careful when you say food for pleasure because we don't want food to be addictive like a lot of things can be. We want to just have fun while you're eating your fuel, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we said we want to keep it simple. Like general, now some general suggestions that I make if you want to stay healthy overall. Don't overuse oil. Don't eat fried food. Don't eat sweets, and don't eat sodas. Okay, drink water. Right, you don't need sodas. Um, also drinking your calories is not really a good idea, right? So you can easily drink 500 calories and you don't even realize you drank 500 calories with two Coca-Colas. I think like two cans of Coca-Cola is probably, I don't know, maybe 300 calories. I'm not sure right now.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I do know that a study just came out that said human beings should not have more than 24 grams of sugar a day, and the Coca-Cola in America comes with a 12-ounce can of Coca-Cola comes with 39 grams of sugar. So it's
Yeah,
already, if you open a can of Coke, you got to drink half of it and then save the rest for the next day. It's crap. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So eliminate that. Fried food and cook with little to no oil. Like I actually add water to when I cook my vegetable and stuff. I don't add oil.
Hmm.
Um, and the preferred way of cooking would be using the oven as well, or steamed. Steamed is another, probably steamed. I think is the healthiest way you can cook. Do you agree?
And you also what do you how do you feel about salt? And do you use it or do you try to keep it to a minimum?
I definitely try to keep it to a minimum. Yes. Um, yes.
And if you do use fat or oil on the rare occasion, what kind do you think is best for you?
Mm. Well, here's the thing. I don't think oil is necessarily good in any way for us
Sure.
because I believe that we should get as much nutrients as we can from the food. And if we choose oil, like if we choose olive oil, for example, we would have 120 calories in 1 tablespoon of oil, right? And if we convert that into actual olives, I think we can have 200 grams of olives,
Wow.
and we will get the fibers from the olives, the minerals and vitamins that are in it, bit of protein from the olives as
Right.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, and we can connect to the fact that I also don't use protein powder for the same reason. I think we can fill up our day with more real food. It's better.
That's interesting because people would look at you and they say, "Oh, this vegan guy, he must be taking some kind of powder or protein or something," but you're not.
No, no, I really don't. I think that's been good marketing, they have done to us to think that we need to supplement protein. When no, we have so. I mean, here's controversial, but there are so many very strong animals out there that don't eat that much protein at the end of the day
Right. Right.
because
They're not they're not
yeah,
eating meat. Yeah, yeah.
they're
What's the
frugivore.
Yeah, and they say about like our closest relative is like the bonobo or the great apes, and they don't eat meat. You don't see them drinking sodas or anything like this. So the whole idea
Yeah.
that it's more natural to eat big things to me, it's not true. I think you're right. Elephants, big animals, don't eat meat.
Hmm. Definitely. And so what's next? What's that? Well, first of all, I would like to cite How Not to Die book. I've learned a lot from Dr. Greger.
Dr. Greg, Dr.
Yeah,
Greger, shout out.
big man is
Yeah.
so I've learned a lot from him. I suggest you not necessarily, read the whole book. If you want to keep it simple, if you go on YouTube and look for the Daily Dozen, that Daily Dozen, it gives you a good structure to organize your day and implement different categories of food, so you get all the nutrients to stay healthy.
So what
Um,
like, can I ask you something about fiber and meat? What do we know about meat and what do we need for fiber to keep everything regular? What do you recommend?
what do we need from fibers as vegans?
Yeah, and how does that, because meat, it doesn't seem very fibrous. It seems like it's really bad for you as far as making
I don't.
you
Yeah,
constipated.
yeah. I think meat doesn't have any fiber really, and that's. I heard my mom had problem pooping and going to the toilet, and once she started to eat uh, almost 100% plant based, she told me that she didn't have problems anymore going to the toilet. So it was. This is something that Dr. Greger said. Like if people would have an apple a day, it would not. There would. There would not be any problem to go to the toilet. And also, I know you heard that like if you eat too many fibers, that you are bloated, that you fart, you go too much to the toilet. But that's not true. That's maybe something that perhaps could happen in the beginning of your journey, just because your body is not used to it. It kind of happened actually to me as well, but that disappeared with time, and now I just go in the morning, usually a couple of times, and everything is fine. Do you poop
Okay,
regularly?
I poop regularly, about the same, about 2 times, 3 times a day. Let's talk about our bowel movements. I love I love to get up in the morning and have a nice bowel movement, and I can't tell you how I used to eat meat, and I used to eat big hunks of boiled, nasty, dead animal flesh, and I would I had hemorrhoids. I had a horror because I sit here on my desk, and I'm constantly talking to people. I was in horrible shape. My butthole was mad at me for what I was doing to my body. It Every day was a struggle. And then of course you go vegan, you got seeds, you've got your beans, you got your nuts, you got your fruits, which have the great fruit skin fibers and everything. Um, Smooth sailing, my friend, ever since. Smooth
Yeah.
sailing.
That's good. So so yeah, I mean, don't um, don't fear that the kind of the transition part is. I think it's more beneficial rather than negative to go through that period of feeling a bit bloated perhaps in the beginning, but it is going to go away. Your body just it's going to adapt. And also, wait, I must say, again, before we get into this, I also want to remind that I'm not a nutritionist. I am a certified personal trainer, so I am allowed to give proper nutrition guidelines, but not going into the specific of nutrition, and make a diet based on an individual requirement. Okay, just wanted to say this. However, higher intake of fibers has been shows to reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases. Makes sense because that's the epidemic that the humanity is seeing, right?
Yeah.
High rate in cardiovascular diseases, and we are not eating fibers.
Yeah.
So that answered the fiber topic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And how
Um,
I mean, yeah, go ahead. I was just wondering, how long did it take you to get over that hump when transition? Was there a few weeks or a few months by the time you
no,
felt?
it was no, it wasn't. It was definitely not a few months. I think one of the things that I was doing wrong, I was eating too many legumes. That's probably something that I was doing just because I was trying, to do that substituting
Right.
animal products for protein. And maybe I was eating too many fibers. I don't know because now I really don't have the problem. Never. So, uh, but again, to answer your question, how long did it take for me to get used to it? I think no more than 1 month. I did made a change though. I stopped eating whole grains, and I um started to eat the white version of starchy carbs like pasta and rice. But I want to say something. Like before being vegan, I was already someone who would go a lot. a lot to the bathroom, and in the in the past I had these, how do you call it, incontinence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't shit myself, but um, but when I was a bartender, I was drinking a lot of alcohol, and
Oh,
it was
right.
playing with
Yeah,
my
yeah.
stomach, and it created the problem as well during that period. So
But you're sober now, though, right?
yeah, 5 months over now.
5 months. So when you say sober, you're sober from everything, like alcohol or whatever, cannabis, what,
Yeah, I mean,
everything?
no, I never really liked cannabis. I like stimulants.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah, I've
like
been
it all.
yeah. Well, that's another story. But yeah, when
Right.
I was a bartender, and I was a lot into techno parties as well, and was doing I did Coke and MDMA was my favorite cocktail. Yeah.
Vegan.
Yeah, but yeah. So back to that. Um, so now, if you here's the tip for the people that don't have time, and I think most people don't have time to cook these days. So and then they kind of want to go vegan, and one of the problems they have, oh man, I need to do all this preparation. Well, you don't have to go all in with the whole plant-based food. You can buy canned food. You can buy pre-cooked vegetables, frozen vegetables. But actually, frozen vegetables are suggested to have more vitamins than fresh, because of course the fresh food has better retaining of minerals and vitamins. But if you don't eat it straight away, they will go off and they will lose properties. So actually, frozen food will retain like 70-75% of their nutrients in the long
Hmm.
term, because it's frozen. So they just stay like that. So it can be even a healthier choice to go for the frozen vegetables. So again, if you don't have time, do not overstress about having to eat fresh all the time. You can have frozen and canned food, and makes things easy.
Yeah.
Um,
And we all live in this modern world where we have to work and we have to do stuff. So, canned food, frozen food, it's an inevitability. You're going to end up
yeah,
needing a quick meal at least one day a week. I don't have time. So, a nice
definitely.
vegan frozen pizza or something is, it
Yeah,
happens. Can't,
yeah. Let's talk about that. I think that your diet should be about 90%. Well, I think lifestyle choices, okay,
hmm,
should be 90% healthy, and then you have the 10% to do whatever you want. And I think that depends from person to person. How do you want to live your life? Um, but if you drink in the weekends, just drink. It's fine. you know,
yeah, right.
well, I think there is a lot of demonizing um, everything these days. But you just make most of your choices good choices, and you're good. Then if it's like me, that you find yourself in a situation where you think it's actually beneficial for you to quit everything, then you do it. It's fine, but it's definitely not going to affect your fitness goals and your health massively if you drink um, once per week. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way I see it. If you enjoy it, you want to disconnect, and that's the way you do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Of course, you can also do some snowboarding and get the adrenaline, but everyone do whatever. That's fine.
Live a little bit, right?
Exactly. Explore. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, so as you said, frozen pizza. You can have this vegan alternative, more processed foods throughout your week. What I suggest and what I ever done is that if you want to prioritize fitness goals, you really want to get stronger, you will have you will have to step up your mindset and become more disciplined. So, but you also want to maintain some flexibility into your diet. So what it works best for me and for my client to maintain to create a good amount of discipline and maintain flexibility and eat more enjoyable food, let's say, is having a cheat day. And after I show you how to calculate the cheat day too. So I don't know if we should get maybe already into. I already said the foods that we should avoid: fried food,
Mm-hmm.
processed food, refined sugar, sweet sodas, alcohol. I said that. Um, Also, yeah, that's another important one. Superfood. I wanted to say something about superfood.
Okay.
Okay, there is no superfood, you know, and these there are some people out there that say, "Do you have migraine? If that turmeric is the solution. You're tired today, then onion soup is the solution." You know all these things. What? This is not how it goes. If you struggle with energies, you struggle with low metabolism, there's a group of things that you're not doing well, and eating that one food is not going to solve them. It might be a very healthy, a very healthy food, and you can implement your diet. I'm not saying that, uh, but there is no magic pill to health. Is a an addition of a lot of things, a lot of habits that you do that are going to make you feeling energetic and strong and fit overall. One of these is physical activity, right?
Mm.
That's an important one. Like if you eat super healthy but you don't do nothing all day, I don't know in what direction you're going.
Yeah. Sometimes that's my life. I sit around too much. I do eat healthy, but I need to get out. I do need to get out more.
100%, man. Too much comfort. Too much
Yeah.
comfort. Get out there
I'm,
and go for a run. No, no, I'm not even going to say walk because
yeah.
that's what doctor promote, to stay healthy, you need to work. Fuck that. I mean, like your body can do so much more. If you are 60 already, you haven't done nothing, okay. If you want to stay healthy, go for a walk. But if you're 50, 40, and anything below that, and start working, start
Okay.
optimizing your performance. Don't just half ass your potential. Go all
Right.
in. Go all in. Obviously, take it step by step. I'm not saying you need to go for an ultra marathon tomorrow.
Okay, Mr. Ronaldo, I'm going for a run today. I promise I'll do my I'll do my reps.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And 20
Yeah.
push-ups.
Okay, I'll do that. I need the
Nice.
motivation. That's for
Everyone's there
sure.
listening today. You go for a run and you do 20
20
push-ups.
push-ups.
There you
Yeah.
go. Let's fucking do it. Let's go. I love it.
Yeah.
Um, so now I think I gave all the general guidelines. Actually, no, we have water. Water very important. Um,
Okay.
right? Our body it's mainly made out of water. You want to drink 3 liters of water per day. We keep it simple, nothing else to say here. Just drink the water because again, if we go back to that energy levels concept, um, I do get sometimes my clients. I give you my client example. That's so a month or so. They're like, I feel tired. What's happening? Do you think I'm missing some nutrients? I don't know what's going on during the workout. I feel tired. Okay, let's have a conversation. Are you drinking 3 liters of water per day? No, I'm not. That you should start drinking 3 liters of water per day. How's your sleeping pattern? Well, lately I've been sleeping 5 hours per day. Oh, how long has this been going on? Maybe a couple of weeks. There you go. So you need to prioritize. You need to prioritize your sleep. Um, where do you live? In the UK? Okay, are you getting sunlight? Not really. It's always great, and then you should take vitamin D. And Or if you are in a place where there is the sun, just get out of your office or house. 10 minutes per day, more than that, like 30 minutes to 1 hour walking per day. Is what we're looking for. And then move back. Of course, apart from the concept of wanting to optimize your physical potentials, minimum movement as a human is necessary. Like you want to hit those 8,000 steps per day, right? You don't function as a human if you're not moving all day, and that affects also your energy levels, because if you're not moving, then your heart and lungs are always working at a lower rate, right? And you get used to that, and that's why you feel like you have lower energy levels, because you're not here, right? So imagine now, if you walk, your lungs and cardiovascular system learn how to work at a higher pace, right? So when you are chilling, you have more energy to stand up and do things. If you go for running 3 times per week and your heart and lungs used to be 120 heartbeat per minute, then when you are down here, you have more energy during the day, because you're used to be up here. So when you're down here, then you feel better. That's how it works.
As far as sleep, though, what do you what's good
Sleep.
for you? Do you
Yeah,
know
sleep.
how long you sleep a night? Is there a magic number that's? I mean, I know they say 8 hours, but how long do you sleep for?
Yeah, so 8 hours, so 7 to 9 hours. Okay, this
Okay.
is what's suggested. I was listening to a good podcast from Dr. Huberman,
Oh, right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
about sleep. So that was very good. And I was also reading a study about people that sleep less than 7 hours and function. And the study was saying that you can't function. So basically they're lying. It's not it's not like that. You need to sleep. The people that the function at less than 7 hours is a very, very small percentage. It's a very small percentage. Also you might feel it less, the negative effects of not sleeping, if you are not an active person, because you're not using those energy during the day. But in the long term, it is shortening your life. Like for example, me, that I'm active, I train a lot, about 2 hours and a half per day. I actually need 9 hours personally. Maybe related to the fact that I'm 85 kilograms, like I'm not a light person. A light person, just walking is easier for you. So I think that's why 7 to 9 hours varies a lot from person to person.
I'm not a big guy either. I'm a small guy, but I also need the 9 hours or something. I
Mm.
need a little bit more than 8, because, and then some days it's 12. Depends if I've been drinking the night before. Then I say, oh, I need 12 hours of sleep today. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, well, I can tell you that I handle hangover pretty well. It's long. I don't remember now how hangover are.
Yeah.
5 months has been
What? Yeah.
the
What do
longest.
you? What do you do in a hangover? What's your secret to you just get up and start moving? And what? How do you beat it?
Yeah, big time. Like, oh, big time. I mean, of course there are some. I had some very bad ones. But I'm talking about when I had bad ones. I'm talking about I took like three ecstasies and that shot of sambucas all day long, plus a gram of cocaine. I mean, I was bad, was very bad. And the
That's
thing
not
is,
healthy.
it's not healthy at all. It's definitely, there is some effect long term from there too, because I've been doing it somewhat consistently. So, but
Well, you still can smile. That's good. I have also done my share of, having fun. More than the 10% you said we should have of sinful activity. I was like, you know, 90% sinful, 10% nutrition or whatever.
so
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, when you're hungover, I think moving is the best. Yeah, actually, my let's say normal hangover day, I do go for a workout. I go for a run. I go for runs and I do stretching. If it feels good, and it's workout day. I'll do my workout anyway, even if I don't feel 100%. And this is something that again I was talking with my um, one of my clients that it was falling back into some addictions of smoking pot, and he told me, "Hey Steph, I'm fighting. I'm not following the program because I'm struggling with this and I need to get out of these." And I say, "No, this is not how you do it. It's not how you do it. You smoked, you stoned, and you work out stoned. I don't care. You work out stoned, and if it feels like shit, then that's your reminder that you better don't smoke before working out, right? So that's the way I look at it when I was younger too, and this is actually what pushed me away from prioritizing party kind of over fitness, because my fitness routine was always there. And when I realized that I wasn't feeling that good, I wasn't following my fitness routine pretty well, I was like, man, I need to push party away here because it's taking a place that it shouldn't take. So and going back to the sleep, there's few tips here. Disconnect from devices 1 to 2 hours before going to sleep. Um, the light from the devices activate your brain, so it doesn't help you well falling asleep. And read a book. I think reading a book is great. A great way to fill up the end of the evening, and use a alarm. I use an alarm, so when I have to disconnect everything, the alarm goes off on my phone because I'm probably working on my phone, and I just switch it off. This way, I make sure that that time I disconnect everything, and all I think of is maybe doing some cleanup and going to sleep.
Hmm.
Another thing that helps with the sleep is getting as much sunlight as possible during the day, and sleeping in a dark and cool environment. And this I experienced myself. And living in a camper, I am kind of exposed more to what kind of nature, right?
Right.
And sometimes I wouldn't close the windows and stuff like that. And I realized that I really cannot sleep more if lights enter the room. So really make sure that everything is closed, especially if you're going to sleep at 11 and in the morning you have sunrise. So make sure that everything is dark.
So, and what about caffeine? A lot of people drink
Oh
caffeine
yeah.
to try to counteract being tired and stuff. How do you feel about caffeine? Because I just kind of stopped drinking it, and now I only do it sometimes, but I used to do it every day. What do you think about caffeine?
Oh, cool. But how do you? So now you stop completely, and how long is it that you stopped coughing completely?
This was been about 2 months now,
2 months?
so not too long. Not too long, yeah, about 2 months. And there was this period where I had massive headaches and withdrawal symptoms.
Oh
But
yeah.
then after the week though, my vascular system felt better, you know, because it constricts the blood vessels when you drink caffeine. It wakes you up, but it also makes your blood vessels super small. And I could feel that. And since I feel better, but occasionally I think I had some green tea the other day, and it didn't give me exactly what I needed. It made me awake, but it also at the end I felt very tired, right? I felt like I was like after doing a lot of cocaine or speed, you're like you just turned up your body to 10, and now you're just exhausted. You know.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense, man. So I did the same a few weeks ago. I eliminated caffeine. Well, related to sleep, we can just say straight away that you don't want to drink coffee in the evening. I mean, that if you have problem sleeping and you drink coffee in the evening, that's the reason why you have problem sleeping, right? So stop drinking coffee or any caffeinated and stimulants drink in the evening. My last
It's
one
just
is like usually after lunch. However, a few weeks ago, I decided to eliminate coffee just like you. And crazy enough, and I was shocked about it. I did have this withdrawal symptoms. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
really, yeah, yeah.
was I on heroin or something? Like migraine, I feel tired. Life is, oh my god. Like, um,
It's
but yeah,
horrible.
I stuck with it, and but now I'm drinking caffeine again. More controlled. I don't abuse it like I was doing before, and it feels good. It feels good now. But before, when I was maybe drinking a little bit too much caffeine, and I felt my energy level, they were kind of lower, and I was using coffee to balance that, probably. But I think that's because it was too much. Now that I drink less coffee, I just feel it's helping me being more aware during the day and more awake. Um, Also, I realized, I have ADHD, and ADHD medication are usually stimulants. I don't take ADHD medications right now. I had in the past, um, but I realized that having that stimulus helped me a little bit with my ADHD, and helped me with my focus. So I decided that that's a good tool to have for me. I think coffee.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. Coffee versus the pills. Like we want to avoid the pills as much as we can. Uh,
Yeah, long story there.
yeah, totally, totally.
Hmm.
That's another episode. Um,
Hmm. Nowadays, they,
yeah,
they say mushrooms and microdosing on psychedelics could be a good one for ADHD. I'm gonna try that when I decided I'm not going to be sober. I'll definitely try that. It's in the
yeah.
it's in
I've
the
had some
Goddard
good
Shrine.
times. I've had some good times with mushrooms. I've taken too much, and I've also microdoses. All quite an experience. Quite wonderful.
Yeah, mushrooms are very fun.
Yeah.
Um, Shit. So we got it all, and let's go to nutrition now. All right, what
Okay.
to eat during the day? Um, and we're going to keep it very simple. Okay, so for the listener to really have a template to use. So we're going to use a simple morning, lunch, snack, and dinner framework.
Mm,
Okay, and we want to include into their diet these different categories. You want grains and cereals. You want legumes. You want seeds. You want nuts, and you want cruciferous vegetables or vegetables in general, but um, cruciferous vegetables are very good because they have this enzyme that helps you cleanse and the liver. Again, this is a study conducted from Dr. Greger. So we have this, and that. Um, and then we have some supplements that you can take, but we say that at the end. That's
mm,
everything. Yeah. So grains, legumes, vegetables, especially cruciferous vegetables, fruits, of course,
yeah.
red fruits like berries, um, seeds, and nuts. That's what you
Yeah.
want basically into your diet. Okay, and some And the way you can organize this is in the morning, you can have um, a smoothie, and you can implement some fruit and some seeds, as well as you can put some. Oh, that leafy greens is another one that you want.
Right.
Leafy greens are absolutely very important. And so you can implement that into a smoothie with oats. Okay, so we already have fruit, leafy greens, seeds, and grains inside of your breakfast. You can also have peanut butter sandwich. So there you go, cereals and nuts with a fruit on the side. This is actually my my breakfast. Or you can do overnight oats, which is like a smoothie, but what you do, you don't blend it, put it in a container. So you have the oats, you have the seeds. You can add some berries or fruits, add some yogurt or plant-based milk, and you leave it overnight in the fridge. Okay? So this is how you can organize your breakfast. Make sense?
Love it.
Yeah, good breakfast. Nice. Then when it comes from to lunch and dinner, this is where I have two different approaches to these two meals, mainly for practicality. Okay, so basically, one meal is going to be the most nutritious of all, and that's going to include a mix of vegetables. Like you could do broccoli, asparagus, and then you put in the mushrooms and some kale, right, for your dark leafy greens. You add some legumes like lentils. It can be lentils, it can be chickpeas, it can be whatever. Beans, pinto beans, whatever you like the most. And with some grain on the side, correct? That could be pasta, bread, quinoa, whatever you like. And actually, this this um, this this recipe, usually what I do and what you can do too is prepping it once per week. Yes, one recipe for the whole week. Okay, this
Wow.
is what I said before. Keep it simple. You are a busy man or woman. You're going through life. You have work to do. You want to follow your workout plan, perhaps. Minimize the time that you spend cooking. Even if you're going to spend Sunday doing your prep, one thing is prepping one meal. Another thing is prepping all different things and organize them in different boxes. No, I just just do one thing.
Yeah.
So basically, what you do is you put inside of a big pot these mixed vegetables together with tomato sauce. This is how I cook them. I cook them with tomato sauce. Um, you can add the lentils and then do your different portion. And then when you're going to eat it, you heat it up and you cook your grains, whether it's pasta, whether it's rice, right? So now the other ingredients that you could add into your diet is Nutritionalist. Nutritionalist is a good add to your diet. I wouldn't say it's a must to have, but it does have good fats. It's a good source of fat. It's high in protein. And it just tastes good. I mean, in the beginning of my vegan journey, I couldn't live without nutritionalist. I had to put nutritionalist everywhere. I order a pizza, I add the nutritional yeast in it.
Oh, it's like Parmesan cheese almost, right?
Yes, definitely. So um, you can have that. Also, often is fortified with B12, so you can get your B12 too. How does the lunch sound?
Yeah. Sounds delicious.
Yeah, delicious, highly nutrition. And here's a fun fact. When I do my prep and I'm tracking and tracking the ingredients and what's in it, there was so only the vegetables for 5 portion without the legumes. Um, it was 140 grams of protein for 2,000 calories. So this is the power of vegetables. You have all you need in vegetables. I must say that when I do this pot, I also in these nutrition meals I do have hemp seeds. So this is where I have my seeds in my diet and the nutritionalist, right? So usually is 10 grams, 10, 15 grams of hemp seed and 10, 15 grams of nutritionalist per meal.
Okay.
Okay. Then snacks. So here's what I I love about prioritizing fruit. Because if you do like to eat a lot and you like snacking, you can snack on as much fruit as you want and not overdo your calories, right? And for me, this was a kind of a huge discovery. I never thought about it that should have just fruit as snack. So now I mainly have fruit for my evening, afternoon. Like sometimes I have maybe 5.5 kilograms of grapes and 2 bananas and 2 apples, and has me feel satiated. And and since I'm eating more fruit, so my net energy levels are higher because you have all this fructose that you eat and that just spikes your energy level. But also you can add another portion of nuts into your snacks for sure. It could be also an oat bar, easy snack. Definitely, you don't need protein shakes as a snack, right? Eat the real thing, eat real food.
And you also mentioned the refined sugar, and but fruit's got sugar in it. What's the best way to get your sweets? Is it fruit?
Absolutely, like fructose and sugar is not the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm qualified to go into
I
details
know
here,
you're
but
right. I know you're right. I'm just trying to set it up to tell people, they are different, and obviously fruit is always the better choice.
yeah. But I mean, look, like this is again a story of my clients since we are there because I had a client that had high triglycerides. That
Oh yeah,
okay,
triglycerides. Yeah.
triglycerides, and so I was researching on it. I was reading studies and what the health organization was saying, and I was actually worried that it might be the fruit. Maybe he's got some metabolism that he has some individual problem with the fruit because of the fructose. But actually researching, I've read multiple times that is actually the opposite. That eating fruit has a reverse effect on high triglycerides. So for him, it must be coming from something else. We don't know. Like he's going to talk with his doctor about it. Maybe there's nothing actually to worry
Mhm.
about. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah, I was looking
It
at.
seems like it's good. Just common sense. But yeah, you got to read the study. I'm glad that you go out and read the studies because I think that's really important.
Yeah, well, I was worried, because sometimes you look at, oh my God, omnivores are right.
Right. You don't want them to be right. Animal cruelty cannot be an option, man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely not, man. You're right. Cannot be an option.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
always, I'm always, I always scrambling to find that information. I'm like, oh God, this better not be right.
yeah. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. What I suggest, if you don't want animal abuse to be an option, if when these things happen, never go to, like, because like it's not like vegans are immortal. some of us are going to have some health issue, whatever. If you break a hand, it's not because you're vegan, it's because you're human and you break a hand. Um,
Yeah.
so do not go seek advice from a non-vegan doctor. Get in touch with a vegan doctor. You can do it online easy these days. Because a non-vegan doctor is going to have that narrow mindset. It's okay, you're vegan. That's why you're here. That's the reason why you're here. And they don't even have to put on the work in doing any real tests. They just say you should eat more eggs.
I'm going to prescribe you one dead animal. No, don't. No. But so how about tofu? I mean, look, everybody talks about tofu, and there was this
Yeah,
myth a long time about how it's got too much estrogen. But I heard other vegan doctors say that that's not true. Do you eat tofu?
yeah. Now we can talk about my other main meal, which is dinner, and
Oh, right.
yeah, and that's usually uh, another easy meal, but I don't prep it because it's so easy that I don't need to prep it, and that is a sandwich with tofu and
Oh,
tomato.
really?
Yeah, I just slice
Mm.
up a tomato, slice up the tofu, add mustard, and I eat it inside of a bun. Very
Nom
simple
nom nom nom.
and straightforward. Sometimes I stir fry stir fry the tofu. But I honestly like it raw too, with the added tomato and with the added the sauce and the bread. Tastes good to me.
Yeah,
Food is fuel.
yeah.
Food is
Food
fuel.
is fuel.
Food is
By the
fuel,
time you
man.
get by the time you get it into your stomach, you'll be thankful that you did the right thing. You'll be like, okay, I'm not hungry anymore, and I actually put the good stuff in my body. No guilt. I found that if I could trick myself into just eating the exact thing that I needed, I'd be a lot happier after I was done. But if I eat a whole bucket of ice cream, I'm gonna feel horrible. I feel like shit, you know?
Yeah. Going to the tofu gives you man boobs, and
Right.
makes you a female. There are few things that. So here's the problem with studies. Like I don't think we need to look at studies all the time. It's I don't know what you think, but these war on studies where it gets mad. I mean, people can justify basically anything with that. Um,
Yeah. Oh, I've
you
seen some
find
bad ones.
you
I've
probably
seen some
find
real bad ones.
yeah, you probably find studies that say that you could have cured COVID-19 by drinking bleach, and you probably will because you're dead, right? But the fact that you're dead, it doesn't mean that that's the way of curing COVID-19.
That is so funny. You know what I saw the other day? You love this. A study came out that said ice cream is good for diabetes or like good for the heart and stuff. And then when you looked in deeper into the study, because I'm scrambling to make sure that that's not true, they said dairy fat it can lower. It turns out that the person that did the study worked at a corporation called Frito Lay that makes potato chips and ice cream bars. So you can't trust these studies anyway.
No, yeah, man, yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. You should look at the the the, the, the biggest and most accepted kind of information. That's why when it comes to a plant-based diet, I will also just point at um, what the American Dietitian and Nutrition Association says, which is the biggest organization in the world with more hundreds of thousands of dietitians and nutritionists, where they came together and they analyzed different meta-analyses and group studies, and they say a vegan diet, if well planned, is healthy at any stage of life. So that's what I look at. I don't look at, oh, but choline, you know? What about choline? What about choline? My grandmother didn't give a shit about choline. Why do I give a shit about choline? Like, you know what I mean? I don't care. And then you got bigger problem, man. Like there's people that don't have food and you worry about choline. What are you doing? What are we doing here?
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not
Like,
a it's not a deadly deficiency that you're gonna get and you're gonna your hair is gonna fall out. No,
yeah,
it's you'll be
and
fine.
and then moving and then leaving it myself, right? Leaving myself strength training and getting stronger and seeing myself not even getting injured lately. I was getting injured more in the past, but I'm not even going to say it's the plant-based diet benefit, right? Because it's not. It's because of other things. It's my mobility and the way I program my workouts now. That's why I'm not getting injured. But there was this amino acid that was in the mouth of anti-vegan fitness influencer that's missing or it's lower on a vegan diet. I think I don't remember which one it is. I think maybe lutein would be.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Is it?
This is a common thing. Yeah, yeah. This is a common
Lutein,
argument with people. They attack me. I don't know what it's called, but it's definitely this amino acid,
which is
and it's
lower,
it's
right?
bullshit. It's
Yeah,
bullshit.
it's
I looked
bullshit.
into it. It's not
Yeah,
true.
actually, I remember when I actually looked into it, I saw that you actually get it in a vegan diet.
Yeah.
You get it now. Like I remember I saw the daily kind of requirement from the amino acid, and you actually get it from not much the plant-based food. You get it very easy anyway. But
From like protein and stuff, it's a process that happens in in the stomach when you're digesting this stuff. Then the amino acids kind of become available to you once you um, start digesting legumes or whatever. And they really push it. They say no, but they say that no, there's 90 million of us, and we're all living fairly healthy lives, and we've got clean arteries.
yeah,
It's not a fucking conspiracy theory, people. It's the way to go. You
yeah.
know.
Oh wow,
So
man! I got this carnivore on my account. She's getting absolutely mad, and she really believes that all vegans are going to break out unhealthy. They're going to end up in a hospital. The vegans that are healthy is because they lie and they eat some animal products.
oh yeah, sure, yeah,
Um, she
fuck
thinks
off.
my health is declining, and she's sorry that I'm vegan, and I will open my eyes at some point. And then she points at my dog and she says, I'm an animal abuser because I feed her vegan dog food." Like, she's mad, man. You're like, that's
No, no.
just
I had
madness.
I had a Dr. Andrew Mc no, what's his name? McDonald, I think. Yeah, Andrew McDonald. He's the one that did a study where he brought up uh, studies about a lion that was vegan or vegetarian. Like this lion was learned to live on like a plant-based diet and lived longer than most lions do. One of the oldest living dogs was named Bramble. It was an Australian shepherd cattle dog.
Yeah.
Was one of the world's ate lentils. This dog ate lentils. So uh,
Oh,
we're
but
just now beginning to find out that this is possible, right?
that's what dogs in my family house when I was younger eat. They would eat pasta with beans because in the south of Italy we have that. We eat pasta with beans kind of often, south of Italy,
Cool.
and that's what the dog would eat. The leftovers of human food. Like,
And this is healthier than the pre-processed kibbles that you get that are made of meat. I mean, you said last week the WHO says meat is a possible carcinogen, and that probably means for dogs too, right?
mm, yeah, definitely, man. But let's go back to humans because we
Next time
are
with the dogs. Yeah,
with
yeah.
next time with the dogs. So we were talking about man boobs with soy,
Right.
and we said that it's not all about studies, and we can use a little bit of common sense to this, right? So first of all, uh, the estrogen that's in soy is not estrogen, right? Is It's called phytoestrogen, and is a plant hormone. All plants have it anyway, and is not affecting the human body. Um, But apart from these, that you can agree or disagree. I don't know if there. I think that anyway, if you like, when I made my research, made my research and read the conclusion of study in PubMed, for example, that's usually when I go and research and read studies. No, nowhere. I didn't find anywhere that actually says that soy could be a factor in lowering the level of testosterone or increasing the estrogen. I didn't actually read it anywhere, so I don't know the people that say that where they get it from.
It
Actually,
was
it
a
says,
myth,
yeah, I
right?
think it's just a myth. I didn't personally, I haven't read any studies, but let's go common sense, because I like common sense, man. Common sense is cool, I think. Um, Asia, they've been eating tofu forever. Like, why do we know? And we always said that Asian. I mean, that's in Italy and I think in Europe. We always look at Asia and say, "Well, they are the healthiest among the world civilization, and they eat tofu every day." So why are we now worried about it when the civilization that most people would use it as example of health, um, it was doing it. It's eating soy every single day.
You know, and the people in America they eat meat and they drink soda and they do have man boobs, but you don't
Yeah,
see that in Asia. There would be lots of Chinese and Vietnamese and Japanese people walking around with big, huge bazongas. This is not the case.
exactly. No, exactly. Um,
Yeah.
and that's it about soy. Yeah. So
So
I also have tofu every day. I have
yeah,
like
me
about
too.
250 grams
Well,
tofu every day.
every other day I have tofu, and I make a mean tofu, baked tofu. I do all kinds of wonderful things. It's delicious. It's wonderful.
Let's say, like, give us a quick tofu recipe, and I'll do the same, because I eat simple, but I'm a good cook at the
Yeah,
end of the day. I am a good cook.
yeah.
So
I'll
tell
I'll
us.
take you to school, man. I'll take you to school. I'll cook you the best vegan food you've ever had. So I cut up tofu into little cubes and I put them in a bowl. I put potato starch on it and then put maybe a little flour, a little breadcrumb, something like that. Mix it with peanut butter. Peanut butter will coat the tofu and make it real sticky, and the starch and the flour will stick to it. So when it comes, you put it in the oven. When it comes out, it's like chicken nuggets. It's really good, really little bite-sized, crispy. They seem fried, but they're actually baked, so it's a little bit better for you. Uh, Not bad, not bad at all. How about you? What's your tofu secret recipe?
Well, you actually said kind of what I do, kind of a similar one. So I would say that the other one that I also like is marinating the tofu in soy, lemon juice, spices. I would add the nutritionalist into the equation. I leave it there for half an hour to 2 hours. I'll marinate it in a very thin slices, like 2 millimeters or 3 millimeter slices.
Mhm.
Actually, 3 millimeters is better, so it stays with some water in it, and then I bake
Okay.
it. And then I bake it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And
that
when it comes out crispy and crunchy?
you can choose how you want to get it out. Sometimes I
Yeah.
get it kind of crispy and it's good. Or you can keep it more watery, more saucy, right? More juicy.
Sauté. Yeah.
Okay, so
Uh,
and that's the end. So that's the end of the
oh,
day of
well,
eating.
you said at the end we wanted to do supplementation. We wanted to make sure that people knew what supplements. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So one thing that we said before is vitamin D, right? If you're closed into an office every day, you perhaps after the office you're going to a gym, then you go home. Um, you're not living in a very sunny country. You definitely want to supplement vitamin D. Otherwise, make sure that you have the hour of sunlight per day. But in general, unless you don't really live in a hot country like here in Spain, where I have my seaside walk without a t-shirt, you probably want to supplement vitamin D anyway. Vitamin B12. All right, we need vitamin B12. As vegans, apparently omnivore are deficient in B12 anyway. That's because B12 comes from bacteria. Naturally, we would get that from the soil or the dirt, but because we sanitize everything, there is no B12 in the foods. And anyway, the animals in the animal agriculture industry get supplemented from B12. Okay, so that's not an argument against veganism. I think makes the person that's using that argument looking a little stupid.
Stupid. Yeah.
And then we have creatine. So creatine is very good if you're building strength and muscle. Creatine is a compound. It's found inside of the muscle. It bond with phosphate to create ATP for energies, right? So adenosine 3-phosphate, and then you have creatine phosphate. So when the adenosine B, and then you go. Well, we're making it complicated now. So
It's getting sciencey in here.
yeah. So yeah, basically it helps you have more energy. Okay, so basically, the body will use phosphate, and with the creatine, you have more stored phosphate to put it back in the molecule, right? And that helps you go a bit harder at the gym, but also it's proven to improve cognition. Okay, it's actually it seems and is one of the most studied supplement as well, so it's very safe.
It's affordable too. It's cheap, right? I can get, because I'm thinking about getting some too, so I can get a bit bulkier. It's not too expensive, right?
Well, I mean, you might do get a bit bulkier with creatine because creatine phosphate is stored with water, so you might get an extra kilograms, but then it stops there.
Oh, okay.
It stops there. Then the rest of the bulk needs to be done through hard work at the gym and getting stronger.
Damn it. Okay.
You're confusing steroids with creatine, I think.
Right. Just give me this. Give me the magic powder.
So yeah, B12, vitamin D, creatine. Oh, and that's the other one. The other one that's interesting is algae, which is not really a supplement. It's algae. But the most common form is going to be supplement, whether it's powder, spirulina powder. That's what I used to buy. That's disgusting.
Right. Yeah.
So I when I buy it, and I should buy it actually because I finished it, I get capsules. Capsules are of these algae. It's very good. They have so many vitamins in it and minerals. But one of the reason why is suggested because we always thought of fish as the best source of omega-3 and 6s, the most balanced. Fish get that from algae, and that's why it's good, kind of suggested to have that to that. But again, is it really necessary? I don't know. I'm not sure. You got omega-3 and 6s from seeds, too.
Right. So we get flax seeds, and I mean, you want to take it easy on the oils, but it's also in the oils. But then there's also supplements that we got that are omegas 3 and 6, and yes, apparently there's some key to longevity and linked to omegas. So and it's omegas mostly is delicious. Flax seeds are delicious,
Yeah, I like hemp seed. I go for hemp seed.
Do you get the omegas in there too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. because I got some of those too, but they're so crunchy that
You need to know. You need to buy the unshelled one.
okay, okay.
The
I
unshelled one are
don't
the
like the
best.
crunchy ones. It reminds me of the
They're
cannabis seeds, you know?
actually the hemp seeds are the softest one, and they actually taste better, I think, than the best one. I actually enjoy.
I'm putting that on my list.
So
Yeah.
yeah, supplement wise, we said no, we don't care about protein powders, and that's it. In my opinion, that's no other supplements that are needed in someone's diet.
All right.
So we
Well,
said at the beginning that we were giving some guidelines also to calculate calories. Do you want to do that?
yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So I'll keep it simple. You're going to you need to calculate your calories on any online calculator. You put your weight, you put your height, and you do that. Now, is the calculation that coming out of those websites correct? No, it's not. It's just your starting point. Then the other thing is when you do calculate this caloric target, if you have a big belly, that's not your, you know, um, I mean, yes, you can use that as your weight for sure, but you want to imagine yourself as the lean version of yourself when you do this calculation, because it's going to give you a more correct um, daily caloric target. Okay.
Mm.
Um, but no, if you just have some fat, it's fine. Just use your weight. So now, in order to lose fat, we need to create a caloric deficit. So from the results that you get out of the website to calculate your calories, you're going to subtract about 500 calories. Subtracting 500 calories over a week, it should equal to losing half kilogram of fat per week. Good. So
Good.
and now based on that, what you should do is understanding, using kind of the diet example that we talked about before, understanding what's the portioning of your food to make sure that you're actually hitting this calorie target, and you can do that with a tracking app. It's important that you don't just track your food every day and eat different stuff every day, because then you're not building sustainable habit, right? So you can do that for sure. You can track your food. You should do it because it's going to teach you a lot about calories and protein, and how your quantities of food are affecting your caloric target. But over time, you just want to kind of learn what's the portion of rice that I have to eat to stay lean. What's the portion
Hmm.
of legumes, right, that I want to have in order to stay within my calories. That's what that's the end goal. Um, so now we said that that calorie target is not going to be exact, right? So how do we correct it? That's very simple. We're going to use your weight as a measurement. You might heard that weight is not accurate all the time, and that's why you need to do an average over 5 days. Instead of weighing yourself randomly one day in the evening and the other one in the morning, it's like, oh, what happened? I weighted 2 extra kilograms yesterday, and today I've lost 2 kilograms. Must be the vegan diet. I'm losing weight. No.
Yeah.
It's maybe because you already went to the bathroom and went to
Yeah.
poop.
And yeah, or you just ate a big, huge heap of tofu. Who
Or the
knows?
opposite, exactly.
Right.
And so what you want to do is weighing yourself every morning, first thing in the morning, and then you do have average over 5 days. Now that you have your calorie target and you know your average, and your goal is losing fat, the weight is supposed to go down. Okay. many people, we can say this, many people worried about losing weight when they go vegan. Yeah, I think they don't understand that there's nothing inherently wrong with losing weight. You're probably losing weight because you're losing fat and you are in a caloric deficit, whether you want it or not, but you're not losing muscle. If your arm is getting thinner and thinner, it's because you never had muscle, and the fat that was on top of your arm is going away. So you are just realizing that you are skinny, but and you need to start training. But you're not losing muscle. That the fact that your arms are getting thinner and you are getting thinner is just because you were fatter before.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're hitting your calories, you're measuring your weight, we're trying to lose fat. So here's very simple. If after 1 week, or basically it's better to make changes after 2 weeks really of measuring, rather than doing changes in your calories every week. But yeah, if the weight is not going down, you just try and reduce your calories by 200 and make adjustment this way. And this is where you actually find out your target, because these websites are not necessarily precise, because you're maybe someone that moves more throughout the day, it moves less. So
Yeah.
so you need to make this adjustment. Going to the cheat day, we want that cheat day, right?
Cheat day.
Cheat day, because you don't want to be precise all the time. You want to have some freedom, and this has been
YOLO.
this has been working for me since I was 16 years old. Like start training, and I was disciplined 6 days per week, and 1 day per week I would have my my freedom, let's say. And so you want to calculate your cheat day just to have an idea. And the way you create this window is considering your calories over the week. So if you are creating, for example, let's say you have that 500 calories deficit like every day. If you, instead of having that 500, so you still have that 500, what will you do is uh, taking 100 calories off that deficit and adding it to your cheat day. So what happens here, you're doing a 400 calorie deficit per day instead, right? But you can have 600 calories to add into your cheat day. So let's say when you calculated your daily caloric target was 2,500, you're eating 2,000 calories per day to lose fat. But in your cheat day, you can have 2,500 calories plus 600. So that's 3,100, 2,100 calories. Make sense?
And that's
I
okay.
might done some math mistake. I'm not very good, but
No, I think that sounds right. Sounds right.
the point is
Uh,
here is playing with the number. The point is that the deficit needs to be over the week. That's the important thing. That you can play with it and take some calories and put them in your cheat day, so you create these bigger window. And usually, because I've seen that with my clients, apparently most people are not like me. They don't binge as much. So usually if you create a window of 3,500 calories, you have space to do whatever you want. You can have your pizza, maybe a few drinks, and that's it. Then for your cheat day, make sure you move, so you're burning some extra calories, and you're free to go. You're free to go.
And I had just a side question there. Of course, we're talking about physical activity. What do you do as far as stretching? This has nothing to do with the vegan diet, but I'm wondering, what do you do as far as stretching? Do you warm up? Because I'm trying to get fit now. You're my personal trainer now. What should I be
Let's
doing?
do it. So I always do, because many people, including me, in the end of a workout, they don't want to do anything else. right? I mean, usually people don't stretch because they don't want to do it after the workout, and that's why I do it before the workout. So I
Okay.
because at the
Okay.
end of the day, stretching is not important. The real reason why you should be stretching is to make your body functional and mobile, not because it's important to kind of relax the muscle after a workout. That's not the real point. The real point is improving range of motion. Improving range of motion is going to get you to reduce the risk of injuries overall.
Okay.
So by spending 15 minutes, my dog needs water.
Ah, my dog needs a walk soon. Yeah. Yeah, we're going soon. Don't worry.
Yeah. So yeah, I like to spend that 10-15 minutes before my workout. Um, I don't rush the position. You want to stay 60 seconds to 2 minutes or even more each position. So it's better to spread the stretching exercises over 5 days than trying to do a lot of position in one day. You have
Okay.
you have better benefit.
And have you had any? I remember you said you got
Oh,
injured by powerlifting. Are you okay now? Or
so my lower back. Yeah, I have a lower back problem. I have degenerative disc disease on L4, L5, and LF5S1, and definitely one of the reasons why I would get stiff and inflamed down there was because of some lack of some lack of mobility, which since I started to work on it has definitely improved. Working on mobility on my pelvis has definitely reduced, or sometimes I feel like it's not there anymore, honestly. But it does happen sometimes that you get kind of annoying again. But overall, it's so much better. I mean, I used to spend full days in bed when I was going through uh, the time this year when I was actually struggling with lower back pain. There was some days that it was very bad, but now never never happens. I'm even able to do heavy lifting at the gym for when I train legs without any problem. Something
wow.
if you're listening, I should say that if you go into my Instagram account, Stefano Vegan Calisthenics, in my highlights, you have different stretching routine there that you can follow. You have different stretching exercise that can improve lower back pain. Some of them are specific to lower back pain, actually.
What's that? What's that Instagram again? So people know.
Stefano Vegan Calisthenics.
And it's like free to go there and just see. I'm gonna go there today. I'm gonna stretch and I'm gonna do the 20 push-ups. I'm gonna do my
Yeah, you
thing.
you 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 have in my highlights, these little circles below the bio. You will find some mobility posts, and they are all organized there, as well as some workouts. And there's also one that's called free program, where I actually guide you through three phases of strength.
Cool. Yeah, I need all the motivation I get, and I love your channel. I love to see what you're doing, and also the fact that you love animals. It's great. It's great. And try to bulk up, man. Try to get some. Yeah. God damn it. I gotta get it going.
So, and apart from that, if you come so far into this podcast and it was helpful, I can actually get you um, my free guide where I go through all we talked about nutrition today, and you can just go to my Instagram and send me a message saying I would say homeless podcast,
Yeah.
so and asked me to send you my free guide to get a six pack in 6 weeks. That's how I called it, my guide. And you can follow organize your diet by yourself and reduce fat. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. Sounds real good.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll sign off. We're going to talk after this. I want to thank Stefano, wonderful human being. Always fun to have you. Uh, come back again. Everybody out there, go vegan. Okay. Try it
Or go vegan or
or go fuck yourself.
go fuck yourself. That's the motto now. I mean, like, at least where we are, where you are with me, there's
Yeah.
gotta be
Well,
the
we're
motto.
we're trying to make it machismo, right? We're trying to make it a tough guy thing. So yeah, go fuck yourself. Come on, tough guys. Let's.
Yeah, honestly, like if you truly think you're a good person and you want to be a tough guy, one of the traits and character you probably have is that you want to use your strength for protection and of who needs protection, and animals fall into categories of others that cannot defend themselves. And yeah, it's not very tough to abuse of innocent beings. It's more like
Yeah.
cowardly, I'd say.
That's a beta male. That's a beta male thing.
Mm.
Bullying, you know?
Bullying, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're
That's
not
what the
into that here.
carnivore fitness girl is doing to me. She's bullying.
Bullying you.
I
Yeah,
don't know if
yeah.
I don't know if I have to block her or it makes sense to. I don't know.
Exercise patience to the extent that you can, and then once it's enough, enough is enough. But we have such great arguments on our side that you know, environment, health, animal welfare. Like you can't beat that. We're right.
Yeah.
So fuck her.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's sign off. We'll see everybody next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Cool.